Good morning, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Here we are once again, all together, surrounding around the breakfast table or wherever you may be at your different time zone. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan, and welcome to another edition of the Coffee Hour. And it's you and I all together as we gather together on a Friday morning, and we're going to be here for the next hour. We thank you so much for being along with us. For those of you who are new, let me explain what's happening here is that each Friday when we come along, we indulge in conversations, we meet together, and of course we share ideas and thoughts. And if you like to chime in, we ask you, you can do that too. All you have to do is just type in on your little keyboard right there. I will see right there up on the big screen. I will entertain your thoughts, suggestions, and ideas, or maybe you just want to chime in and develop your own conversation, ask questions, and we can bring that conversation into the fold of this show as well. For those of you who have been around with us for quite a while, well, you already know the protocol, we're here. And of course, we ask you to be kind to the new people who come in. And remember that all of us are here together and we're coming from 3 different places. We're live on Facebook right now. We're live on Instagram. We're on YouTube as well. And of course, anywhere you go, you can check us out. No matter where you are around the world, we're right there with you. And we thank you so much for being along. We've got a lot of things planned for you today coming up right throughout the show. As usual, we have the usual things coming up. We have sports coming up within this particular half hour, not too far away. Sports update with Brian Camp. We're going to link up with him coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're going to find out what's happening in Charlotte, as well as him giving us the sports. And later on, that's part of the 2020 feature. And after that, that's 20 past the hour, and then 20 to the hour, DJ Pete will be here for entertainment news. And of course, he'll be reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety within the business all this week. So we want to thank you all for your patronage, and thank you so much for being along with us. Remember that everything that we say here, all of the thoughts and ideas does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other media that we broadcast on. So now that we have that all out of the way, let's get the show started. Ladies and gentlemen, let's raise our cups, because after all, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. Now this is legal, folks. I say that word, shoot up. That's just my sarcastic way of a little stimulation here, but this is the real deal. This is the real deal, and we hope that you have yours too. Now, I know a lot of you, if you're in my time zone, most of you are probably working or just arrived at work, and you're probably at the particular time at this time, because it's after 10 o'clock in the morning where we are right now with Eastern. And I suppose that those of you who are on the same time zone are at work, and you're probably at the state right now where you're enjoying your coffee, and you have what they call the 15-minute coffee break. Now, in the corporate world, that's what they did that I remember, but then that was way back. You know, the corporate world is different. But listen, everyone deserves some kind of a break, a lunch break, a coffee break, whatever it is. If you are getting your coffee break right now, let me suggest to you that you take that coffee break, sit at your desk, enjoy your coffee, sit back, relax for the 15 minutes that's allotted to you, and enjoy the show. And even after the coffee break is over in 15 minutes, you're still at your desk and you can still go to work, and you can do what they call multitasking. In other words, you could work and watch the show at the same time. And we hope that you stay with us for the full hour now. For those of you who cannot stay for the full hour, we really appreciate whatever time you can spare with us each week, whatever time you can spare with us, it's good. And so, but we do hope that you do that. Now, those of you who are going to chime in conversation and say hello to us, we really appreciate it. We always like to hear from you. You know, although a lot of people like to sit back, relax, and just enjoy the show and stay idle and just enjoy the show without chiming in conversation, that's okay too. But those of you who decide that you want to do that and say hello, give us your weather forecast wherever you are around the world, all right? You can be anywhere around the world. Give us your weather forecast around the country, around the world, or wherever you're watching the show. Let us know, you know, what your weather is like so we can convey it to others. We like to compare weather forecasts. Now, that's not anything that's mandatory. When we share these forecasts, it's not mandatory. It's just something that we ask you to do, and we hope that you would, just share it with others. And those of you, hopefully that you have good weather and you're going to, enjoy it for the weekend. Now, those of you who are living in my area, in the New York area, don't worry about that, because I will take care of all of that for you. I will read the forecast for today. So you dodge the bullet. Don't worry about it. I will take care of it. But for the rest of you, we might just like to know. I guess that's my way of getting together and conversating and, comparing notes with each other. So we hope that everything is fine where you are. Okay, later on in the program as well, I didn't mention it, but now I'm going to mention it too. I mentioned the sports, I mentioned the entertainment, all of that. We have movies that we're going to talk about, those Turner Classic movies that you enjoy so much. I know I enjoy classic movies, right? Now, a lot of you may do a lot of things on the weekend. You may go out and go shopping or whatever it is, but then they may become a time within that weekend period where you want to catch up on some movies. And maybe the weather won't be on your side this weekend. It'll be inclement, rainy, and just nasty. And that's what you want to stay home, just relax and catch up on some old movies. I will add some movies to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. Because I have a few movies I think you're going to be interested in. They're all from Turner Classic Movies, and we'll tell you more about that later. That's all coming up on the show, and we thank you so much for being along. Now we are in the midst of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You already know about that, right? That's a very, very important topic, because it's important to all of our women, all of the women around the world, and we should be involved and we should be supportive as well. Now, this Breast Cancer Awareness Month is not exactly a celebration. It's just an acknowledgement to let people know that there are women around the world who suffer with this, and it's what they say, a curable. It's something that you can bypass, and not really have to live with, if you catch it in an early stage. And that's the whole point of it all, to make women aware of Breast Cancer Month and make them aware that it can happen to anyone, but it could be dealt with. And if you notice, a lot of people are wearing, if you walk down the street, some people are wearing on their lapels, which I don't have, I wish I did, but I am supporting this. A pink ribbon, they could be done in, sometimes it could be a pin. It could be a pin, or it could be a real ribbon, just, crisscrossed and on your lapel. Anyway, I don't have one, but I'm telling you right now, you don't really need one to support it. But I'm telling you right now, I do support this, just like I would support for men with prostate cancer. And I'm an advocate of that, being a survivor myself. And but what we're talking about right now is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And those of you, and I'm not going to say those of you, because all of us have women in our family. You have your wives, you have your girlfriends, you have your cousins and daughters, and all people of the female persuasion in your family. You want to support them, and this is a good way to do it, to acknowledge it. And of course, I'm pretty sure there are places you can go to make contributions to this. All you have to go online, just Google. See, Google is a thing that you can contact anything. And to learn more about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Google it and check it out for yourself. Read it, read up on it, because men, women, some of you may have daughters that you want to make sure that they're enlightened about it, because you are the teacher, you are the head of the family, and you're supposed to make sure that they are aware of this, especially if they're at the age now, their teenage years, they ought to know about this, And so that's what we do. That's what we do. So we want to make sure we keep acknowledging that until the whole deal is over for the month. But then again, even when Breast Cancer Awareness Month is all over, we should always continue to support the cause in itself. And I am looking for the day that men be proactive and we get on board and do what women do, create something like this for men, for Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I want to certainly look into that and find out, because being an advocate, I can't do everything on my own, but I would like to know the possibilities of that. And there may be places in different cities that have this awareness going on and they're really supporting it. And but I would like to see this acknowledged, like in your face, just like the women are doing to us. Breast Cancer Awareness Month in your face, so you would know all about it. So that's what we're doing today, and that's what it's all about. So let's keep that in mind. And I don't have a online website that you can go to, but it's very easy. All you have to do is just Google it. Just type in Breast Cancer Awareness Month and website or whatever, and you'll go right to it. Okay, and that's what it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And my name is Frank Allan, and we're going to be aboard with you for the entire hour. I hope you stay with us because there's a lot to talk about and a lot to do. Again, those of you who are going to chime in with us, and we invite you to give us your weather forecast. In the meantime, I'm going to give you my weather forecast. We got a good weather forecast coming up in New York City. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all through the whole weekend, except when we get to Sunday, but it's not a washout at all, Let me explain it to you. Right now, what we have in New York, let me check the present temperature here in New York right now. We've got, let's see, we've got 54 degrees right now. That's the present temperature that we have here in New York right now. It's 54 degrees, and we've got a lot of sunshine on the horizon for us. And the best I can tell you, if you're in New York, you get out and soak up some of that sunshine. It's great. Here's our weather forecast for today. Abundance of sunshine. We'll have a high 63 degrees today. We have winds light and variable. For tonight, clear skies, low 46 degrees. Winds will be light and variable as well. And for tomorrow, Saturday, we have, except for a few afternoon clouds, it's going to be mainly sunny. So, there you go. You can go outside and do whatever you want to do. High 67 degrees. That's the highest for tomorrow. Take the jacket along with you, as you already know. We've got winds light and variable. For Saturday night, becomes mostly cloudy. We have low 53 degrees, no rain in the forecast. You can leave the umbrella home, but continue to take that jacket with you. Light winds, and they will be variable as well. And as we wrap up our weekend and get ready to go back to the grind on Monday, you care to stay home if you go to church, you might want to take the umbrella with you because it's going to be cloudy in the morning, then off and on rain showers during the afternoon. So we'll have high temperatures, 61 degrees. Take the raincoat. Well, not necessarily the raincoat, and umbrella will be sufficient for you. And make sure you have your jacket too. Winds will be east, or will be northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 50%. So you have a 50% chance of rain on the horizon for Sunday, and that's only New York weather. And repeating our current temperature, we have 54 degrees outside with plenty of sunshine. So, whatever outdoor activities you have to do, it's not bad, but you have to do it with a jacket. Make sure that everything is okay in that department, that you stay warm. And speaking of that, taking care of yourself. The flu season is here. Everyone knows that. The flu season is here. And I'm pretty sure what you want to do is make sure that you're well prepared for it. And in the news, I've been watching the news, and the news is saying that the flu, the flu is really strong this year. And in conjunction with the variant that comes along with us, with the COVID-19, which is still in full effect, ladies and gentlemen, they're shedding their mask. And there are certain places where you don't have to wear your mask and things like that, but be sensible. At least have the mask in your pocket, because when you go in areas like in an elevator or something, you want to just put the mask on temporarily, at least. And this way you'll take care of yourself. But back to the flu season, you might want to take your flu shots. They're available now, and they were available ever since, I believe, the end of August, beginning of September. Right? But they're available now. It's not too late to take them, because when the weather really gets cold, that's when you're going to really need it. So take those flu shots. And by the way, speaking of shots, that online, you can go online and go to wherever your favorite pharmacist is, your favorite pharmacy, and make an appointment to get vaccinated for the updated COVID-19 shot. They have an update now. You can update that. Stay on top of all of that, and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Stay out of places where you don't belong, or try to stay away from people who you think may contracted COVID. It's nothing personal. It's just that you want to protect yourself and protect your family, your brothers and your sisters, your husbands, your wives, and even your children, of course. Now, children are taking the vaccination as well, starting at 12 years old, up 5 years old even, So we want to make sure everybody's safe, and it seems like we're doing well with it right now at this particular point, because of course, as you know, remember when it all started and the streets were cleared, no one was outside. It was just terrible, but we came a long way for going on 3 years now, and we came a long way with it, and we're doing very well with it. And doing very well right now at this particular point is not enough. We want to do better. We want to make sure that we're rid of this whole thing altogether. Now, if it ever gets to the point where, okay, we don't get rid of it altogether, like we don't get rid of the flu, that's why we have annual flu shots. And if it gets to the point, maybe we'll have annual vaccination shots for COVID. At least we're in a better place than we were before, because it was frightening before. People were dropping off left and right. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, people are still dropping off. People are still getting sick. And the reason why they're getting sick, ladies and gentlemen, let's just face the fact. They're not taking care of themselves in the department that we're asking people to do, is to make sure that they get themselves checked, see your doctor on a regular basis, and just stay healthy as long as you can. Because it's a marvelous world, and I get a blast out of life. For all the things that go on in the world, all of these things that go on in the world, these crazy things that go on in the world, I still get a blast out of life. Okay, DJ Pete, as I said, will be here not too far away, and he left us a weather forecast. He's premature about this, out in Portland, Maine, because that's where he is, and we're going to be linking up with him pretty soon. Portland, Maine. Let's see, he's got partly cloudy skies. He's got highs of 57 degrees. And for overnight, we'll have a low of 43 degrees. Winds out of the south at 6 miles per hour. And the UV index, I don't know if anyone cares about that these days, but here it is anyway, for the sake of people who want to understand it. The UV index is 3 of 10, and the humidity is 50%. That's out in Portland, Maine. So I gave you my weather forecast here in New York. DJ Pete gave his in Portland, Maine. And those of you who are coming in, and I hope you do say hello, give us your weather forecast wherever you are. We'll convey it to everyone else. We like to read them off. We like to talk to people and have a good time here. So there you go. Okay, folks, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. Now, we were on the air last night as well, and we were on the air doing talking, and that's what we do every Thursday on Talkback Live. Just in case you don't know about that, we do have a show on Thursday night between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern called Talkback Live, and then come in on the coffee hour. But right now we're enjoying coffee, and those of you who are watching us live on Facebook, God bless you. Now, if you're watching us live on Facebook, I didn't mention it, but what you do, or what I hope you would do, is tag all of your friends. You could tag this show, this very show right now, to all of your friends and invite them in, make them aware that they can come in and not be harmed by anyone. And just come on in and enjoy. Just come on in and enjoy, and just let's have a good time together. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, you're watching us on YouTube? Okay, for you YouTube watchers, right? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do that, all right? Because what happens when you do that, what happens when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you will get an opportunity to know that whenever we come on live, or if we so much as post a video online like that, you will get an opportunity to know that because we give you a notification. This notification will pop up and say, oh, he's on the air, or he just posted something, and that's the benefit of subscribing to my YouTube channel. Now, keep in mind, when that word subscription, right away a person would think, oh, how much does it cost to subscribe? For a subscription, I subscribe to the New York Times or the Los Angeles Times or the New York Post or the Los Angeles Post or whatever newspaper, or I read other publications or Vanity Magazine. I have to pay monthly for that. You don't pay anything here. I don't take any money except nothing, except I accept your friendship. That's what I accept. And you don't have to have a union card. You don't have to have any kind of ID or anything to get in here. All you have to do is just show up. So subscription is free. All you have to do is just press that button where it says subscribe. Press it and you're in. And that's the end of it. That's the end of it. So don't freak out. You don't have to pay a dime. And it's okay. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is follow us. Now, on Instagram, let me tell you, people on Instagram, like when we do, let's say, have guests on the show and we have them on screen, you won't be able to see them. A lot of people have mentioned them. How come I don't see them on Instagram? I don't get to see DJ Pete. I don't get to see Brian. I know they're there, but they don't show them here. Well, we're not designed, let's see, Instagram is not designed for that. Facebook is, maybe in the future would be, because Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company. You already know that, right? Meta. And who knows, that things may change in that area and may happen. But in the meantime, if you want to see my friends, Brian Camp and DJ Pete, you're going to have to come over to either Facebook or YouTube and watch them. You can actually see them. But if it doesn't matter to you, you can stay right where you are. But wherever you are, we really appreciate the thought that you're out here with us and just enjoying. And that's what it's all about, to enjoy each other, just have a good time. And we really appreciate all of everything that you do for us, because you've been out there for a while. And I've had a lot of people say, oh, something, I watch your show. They do it on a sneak. They say, I watch your show, but you don't know I'm out there. And it's true. I don't know who's out there. I don't know who's out there. Because some people have a way of getting online, watching us, and I don't see them. All right. But I do know that there are people idle out there. Now, if I did this show directly from a telephone, I would be able to see it, but I'm doing it from another source, so I don't know, but I know that they're there. I just don't see them, except if they kind of chime in and make a comment or something, then I'll say them and I acknowledge them. And it's good that way that I don't see you, because this way I don't have to acknowledge you, because the only time I will acknowledge you, if you happen to be there and watching and popping up and making a comment, then that's when I'll acknowledge you. And it's all out of respect, because like I said, some people just like to stay private. But I will wave to you. There's no law in that. I won't mention a name, but I will wave to you and say, howdy, howdy, howdy. So thank you so much for being along with us and enjoying our coffee too. That's delicious. That's delicious. You already heard in the news, and she's only been in office 45 days before it happened. The UK Prime Minister, Liz Truss, resigned yesterday in the UK. She went to the King, and said that she was going to resign. Now, I don't know what the politics are over there in the UK. I'm not sure. I don't know. There had to be something why she resigned. But they already got rid of the first one, Boris Johnson. They already got rid of him. They took him out. They didn't even want him anyway. And then the other hand, I think they kind of asked her to resign too. I think that's the story I got. Wasn't too much up on the story, but the big story was when Prime Minister Boris Johnson, when he, he was like, they wanted him out of there, So anyway, Liz Truss resigned, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with her later on, where she's going to go. And we're going to have to stay on top of all of that news and find out what's happening, because it's news. It's news. And I want to find out more about it too. I do admit there are certain things that I'm not really up on top of, and this is one of them. But I'll get to do that. Now, we are going to Charlotte, North Carolina right now, because Brian Camp is with us, and he's coming along. And he's have for you the latest developments in today's world of sports. I don't want to talk about baseball right now, so you take it away in your own little way.
Well, we're not going to talk about it just yet, but we eventually will have to talk about it. I mean, it's part of sports. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone. Hope all is well on this beautiful, beautiful day out here in the Queen City of Charlotte. It is 52 degrees. Going up to 68 degrees, which is usually around our average weather, 70 degrees throughout the winter. And we're here. So hope all is well. Good morning to everybody. I'm going to get to sports. In the NBA, an attorney who has owned the New York Knicks season tickets. They have season tickets that they buy every year. But this person has owned them for nearly 50 years. Has sued Madison Square Garden Entertainment, claiming that he and nearly 60 lawyers from his firm were barred from the company's properties. Now, Larry Hutcher said in a suit filed in state court last Thursday that Madison Square Garden took the action against he and his partners at David Hutcher and Citron LLP after he became lead counsel for 24 tickets resellers who were suing MSG for violating New York's arts and culture affairs law. Now, 2 weeks later, Hutcher received a letter informing him that the attorneys were barred. That means they were not allowed. They're barred, and that his tickets, which he owned since 1976, had already been paid to renew for his season tickets, were revoked. There's more to come to this. This was a very hush-hush story that I came across. It wasn't publicized. Maybe it was publicized in the New York area, but I came across. I'm going to try to get some more information on this, hopefully next week or two. But that's where it stands. So, I mean, if you've been a season holder tickets for nearly 50 years, that's your loyalty. That means you love the Knicks. You're going against 60 lawyers. That's more than a dream team. That is more than a dream team. So that's where we're at right now. With that, more to come. In the NFL, Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Washington Commanders, continues to be under fire. He's always in some controversial stuff. His organization has really been hit hard with controversy. Over the years, he's been accused of allowing uncomfortable work environment for inappropriate verbal abuse, sexist comments, racial comments within his own organization. And it's not a very comfortable place to work at. Women complain, men complain, and it's in turmoil. So they trying to get him kicked out of the NFL. Now, his fellow NFL owners, the rest of them, the 31 NFL owners, are trying to get him out. And he's saying, you try to get me out, I got dirt. I got dirt on you. So, this looked like this is going to be a battle. It could get ugly in the newspaper. It could get ugly in the media. It could get ugly, period. But they want him out. They want him out in the worst way. So Daniel Snyder is in a heap of trouble. He's ready to spill the beans. I think personally, let him spill the beans, because I could go deep into this. The NFL owners has been known to be I don't want to say the word, but I'm going to try to go around the word, but they've been very somewhat racist in a way where they don't want to hire minorities to coach. So if Daniel Snyder got some goods on these other NFL owners, spit it out. Then quit. Then sell the team. I don't care. But I want to hear the gossip. I want to hear who's the one that's been talking a lot, you know? So that's what I want to do. Major League Baseball, I'm glad you asked that. Yes, we got Major League Baseball in the National League. Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres series is all tied up at 1-1. Both games were split. The first two games is in San Diego. They move now to game 3. We're going to resume in Philadelphia tonight at 7:30 in Philadelphia. That game is going to be on FS1, Fox Sports 1. Game 4 will be on at 7:45, this time on regular Fox on Saturday night. So you got games 3 and 4, and I believe game 5 is going to be the next day on Sunday. I think that what they do is they only have a day off for traveling time. So the first 2 games is going to be that was played in San Diego. Next 3 games in Philadelphia. That's going to be a tough trip for the San Diego Padres because they flying cross country. It's 3,000 miles, so they're going to be a little tired. In the American League, the Bronx Bombers are in a heap of trouble. Yeah, those New York Yankees, Frank Allen's team, that live and die with his legacy with the 27 championships, are in trouble. Well, in the American League Championship Series, the Houston Astros, who's been a nemesis to the Yankees over the years, take a 2-0 lead over the Yankees as they won last night, 3-2, and face turmoil. They said that the series don't start until the home team start losing. Well, Yankees have 2 games coming up, and let's see what's going to happen. They got tonight. I believe is it tonight resumes in Houston on TBS. Yes.
No, I think they're off tonight. I don't think they go back. They don't go back.
Saturday. It's 3 and 4 on Saturday. Excuse me. Right.
Yeah.
Game 3 will be on TBS at 7:30, and Game 4 will be on Saturday at 5 p.m. At 7 o'clock. I'm sorry, 5 p.m. Both games will be on TBS. So there you have it. So it's going to be Bedlam. It's going to be crazy. New Yorkers are some faithful fans. You're going to see some crazy maniacs out there cheering their team on. It could be 10 degrees. They're going to come out there with no shirts on. That's what they do in football. New York, this is New York, okay? New Yorkers are like that. I know. Okay, so let's get ready for some football. Come on, I mean some baseball. So this day in sports. October 21st, 1964, the Braves asked the National League to allow them to leave Milwaukee to play in Atlanta. And that's where they're at now. So this happened in 1964. 1973, Reggie Jackson named World Series MVP. A's manager Dick Williams quit. He resigned right after the series. And that was the last game that Willie Mays played in the World Series. Yes, in 1973. I watched that game. That was a 7-game series too. That's the one where you see Willie Mays on his knees begging for the umpire to return to reverse the call where his teammate was called out. 1976, New York Knicks retired their first number 19, the captain Willis Reed. And in 1998, the New York Yankees, on this day, swept the San Diego Padres in the World Series. Scott Brosius was named MVP on this day. So Yankees got an uphill battle. So that's where we are. And finally, 1969, Mo Lewis, NFL linebacker of the New York Jets, birthdays, I'm sorry. 1928, Whitey Ford, Major League Hall of Famer, was born in New York City, New York. 1967, John Flattery, former baseball catcher and broadcaster for the Yes Network, where I call Yankee games, was born also in New York City. In 1969, Mo Lewis, NFL linebacker for the New York Jets, was born in Atlanta, Georgia. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for sports on an upcoming busy weekend where a lot of stuff is going to be happening. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. Got all 4 major sports playing this weekend.
I'm nervous, but I'm not afraid because fear runs from me. But the Yankees were not hitting last night.
Ever since Aaron Judge was going for the home run record, he has not been the same player.
Yeah. And they're doing the best they can. They weren't being slaughtered in the games, but those weren't the Yankees that I knew. And I gave them a pass on the first game that they lost because they came directly from New York to Houston after the champagne celebration and all of that. You think, okay, they didn't arrive into Houston until I think 2 o'clock in the morning. They didn't get to their hotels like till 2 o'clock in the morning. So they didn't get enough rest. So I gave them a pass on that. But last night, listen, Houston is playing a good game. And I take my hat off to Houston, and I'm a good sportsman, and I take my hat off to Houston and Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker, yes.
They're playing a hell of a game, but I want the Yankees, when they come back to New York, to sharpen up. Now they got to come back home with their fans, and their fans are not going to have it.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, so they're going to have to play some baseball, and they're going to have to. And what they're going to have to do is knock off 2 in a row, like these guys did, like they did in Houston. They're going to have to
Spike Lee is going to lead that charge.
Yeah.
Spike Lee is going to be there.
Spike Lee, when it comes to sports, Spike Lee is like the New York cheerleader of all sports. Yeah. All New York sports, anyway.
Yes.
Getting back to the Madison Square Garden suit, what do you think that the people from the Madison Square Garden organization would have thought about all of this before they decide to suspend? And we're talking about lawyers here. We're talking about people of law that knows the law and knows how to sue. What do you think?
Well, this is the thing. James Dolan, who's the owner of the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, he's not been relevant for many years. I mean, this is the same guy that fired Marv Albert. Who fires Marv Albert? Marv Albert is the voice of Madison Square Gardens, of New York Knicks and Rangers even when I was a kid. If he could fire Marv Albert, he could just do whatever he wants. Even Spike Lee had a run-in with him. Even Charles Oakley had a run-in with him. He's an owner that, he does spend his money the way he wants to. You can't tell an owner who he could spend or not to spend, but these lawyers have been, diehard Knicks fans for, as they said, nearly 50 years. Every year they renew. I don't know what transpired behind all of this, but it's not a good look. Knicks fans are going to come regardless because as they say, Madison Square Garden, New York City is the mecca of all places to come to see a sporting event, from boxing to concerts and sporting events. So there's more to it. I don't know why. The story here doesn't tell me all. I'm going to have to try to dig more into it. But you do have, every year, in a lot of these sports, where you have an annual where they give you an opportunity to renew season tickets. A friend of mine who had season tickets for the Mets, I was able to go to some of his games. They don't go to all the games, but they go to the big games. So we don't know what happened, what started this, but time will tell. We'll find out more.
Yeah, because I won't tangle with judges and lawyers, attorneys. I wouldn't tangle with them. They just know the law, and they know how to sue because that's their business. But it's I like to separate the politics of sports from the actual events. People love to come out and see these games and support their favorite teams. And like you say, they're going to continue to do it anyway. But, they should do all of this, I believe. Maybe it's hard to do, but they should leave all of that behind closed doors and not let it leak out to the press.
Exactly. I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this way, the rest of us won't care. We don't care anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole thing. We don't care anyway. So let them Act like babies, fight among themselves. Brian, thanks a lot. We'll catch you back here next week.
Everybody have a good weekend. Pete, if you're out there, nice to see you or hear from you. And everybody enjoy the weekend. And I will not be smoking on the smoker this weekend. I'm taking a week off.
Well, rest up a little bit anyway. Talk to you
Yes.
All right.
Take care.
Take care of yourself. It's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And he's here, as you already know, every week at this time. His part of the 2020 feature is over, and we thank him so much for being along with us. DJ Pete has internet problems over in Maine, he tells me, and we hope that he's coming on now, and we hope that it's going to be okay. We can get through this whole thing. So anyway, he's here now. And DJ Pete, of course, with all of his sports, not sports, but entertainment news. And of course, reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. Pete, welcome aboard. I hope we can get through this. What's it like for the internet thing over there?
All right. So Facebook is kind of weird today. It's kind of like all of a sudden stops and then continues again. Instagram is working good. It may be on this end, but I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, let's go down the list. Where's my list here of entertainment birthdays this week here? October 17th, 1909, American jazz drummer Cozy Cole, C-O-L-E.
Yep.
Was a jazz drummer who worked with Cab Calloway, Louis Armstrong, and many more. He had his own really cool version of Topsy.
Yep, part 2.
Part 1 and part 2. Real cool jazz sound that he did for that tune here. Let's see. Born October 18th, 1926. Charles Edward Anderson Berry, also known as Chuck Berry, great rock and roll musician. Great tunes like Maybelline, Johnny B. Good, Rock and Roll Music, Roll Over Beethoven. You know them. They're all great tunes. Happy birthday to him. Anita Bell Colton, also known as Anita O'Day, October 18th, 1909, American jazz singer and song stylist. Let's see, what does it say here? She had a really great musical career, vocal jazz and bebop singer up until 2006. She was still performing here. Piano Red. Not many people know about Piano Red, but I figured I'd pull him out of the hat here. October 19th, 1911. Willie Lee Perryman was his name. Later in life known as Dr. Feelgood. Now, some of you blues fans may have heard that name, Dr. Feelgood. American blues musician, first to hit the music pop charts, one of the first ones to hit the music pop charts. Taught himself how to play piano in a barrel house blues style there. Let's see, born October 20th, 1937, Wanda Jackson. I got to meet her. Sorry about that. Phone ringing here.
I thought that was my phone. I was going to say,
yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, all right. They can go to that's why we have the answering machine here. Wanda Jackson, I got to meet her in 2002. American singer, rockabilly singer, songwriter since the 1950s. Recorded a lot of music in rock and roll, rockabilly, gospel, and country. One of her favorite tunes, Fujiyama Mama.
Yes.
And
I love that song.
And Let's Have a Party. Great tunes by Wanda Jackson. I got to meet her at a rock and roll festival in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 2002. Great person there. October 21st, that's today, 1917, John Burks Gillespie, also known as Dizzy Gillespie. He was an American jazz trumpet player, band leader, composer, educator, and singer. He was the trumpet virtuoso an improviser, building on that style of Roy Eldridge music, but adding layers of harmonic and rhythmic, complex parts to jazz back then. Let's see, who else do we have? October 22nd, 1942, Bobby Fuller, American rock and roll singer, rockabilly guitarist, known for his songs "Let Her Dance," his cover of the Crickets, Buddy Holly's in the Crickets song "I Fought the Law," and recorded with his group the Bobby Fuller Four. Fuller was his last name there. And finally, that's a tongue twister there. Yeah. Finally, what I have this week is Jerome Lester Horowitz, also known as Curly Howard, from the Three Stooges. He was an American vaudevillian comedian and actor, best known for the work with the Three Stooges over a number of years, which also included his elder brothers, Moe and Shemp, and actor Larry Fine. In fact, Curly's style influenced Lou Costello. Lou Costello, of Abbott and Costello films and TV shows. And Lou had Shemp Howard in several of the TV or films, playing some parts off and on there. And that's what I have this week, Frank.
Yeah, and he had Shemp on Abbott and Costello in the Navy.
Yes, I remember that one.
I love that. I could never get enough of watching that film. They don't show it enough on TV.
Yeah,
he was in that, and and let's see. So, and by the way, Curly Howard, I'm proud to say he's a Brooklyn boy.
Yeah, I think they all were.
Yeah, I don't know about Larry Fine. I don't think Larry Fine was from Brooklyn, but the Howard boys. All of them were from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah,
out in Brownsville.
I mean, you can hear it in Curly's accent.
Yeah,
it's a Jewish Brooklyn accent.
Yes,
which is unique apart from other Brooklyn accents.
That's right. That's right. Everyone has an accent, but wherever they're from, whether they're Italian or they're black, you can tell if you go far, they'll say, "Are you from Brooklyn?"
Yeah,
because we always have that accent. We're from, like,
it's the Brooklyn boys.
If you're deep in the heart of Brooklyn, you'll sound like Brooklyn. It's just, as opposed to, you go to Boston. You've been to Boston. What do they say? Boston.
Boston, because it's the way, a car, we call it a car.
Yeah.
Okay. A car. And that unique style of the New England accent from, say, Rhode Island, Boston into Maine came from the UK. Yeah. Actually. Like the word water.
Yeah.
In the UK, though, some people call it water.
Water. Yeah.
Yeah. So hundreds of years ago, when they colonized New England, as we call it, we got that part of that accent from the UK, and that stayed with us. Yeah.
They're just interesting accents. I like some of these accents, I like to entertain. And when people, I don't know that I sound like Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, but I don't know that I sound like I'm from Brooklyn. I don't know. You don't. If a person, you would know that better than me, because you listen to me.
Yeah.
And
I mean, some people say I have a New York accent. Sometimes I put it on.
Yeah.
It's just the way I talk.
Yeah.
Who has a unique accent is people in the Baltimore, Maryland, Philly, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a really unique style. I knew a guy from Baltimore. They called it Balmer down there. So you mentioned breast cancer awareness. You see, I got my pink ribbons on
Ah,
here
see,
today because breast cancer is in my family. I
okay.
had 5 or 6 relatives who had it,
I see it. Yeah,
but most of them were female, but one of them was male. So
yeah,
this is not just a woman's issue. This is a man's issue
that's
too.
right. Absolutely.
And me having relatives that have had it, I'm at risk
Yeah,
for it, and
yeah,
I'm actively checking on that as as I go on
yeah.
day to day. So
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I am a like you say, men are involved in this too.
mhm.
And I wish men were a little more proactive about the other side of the coin, like prostate cancer, which I'm a
Mhm.
survivor of, and maybe we should have our blue little ribbons, you
Yeah,
know.
I think that there should be. Yeah, breast cancer is bad. Every type of cancer is bad.
Yeah,
There should be something just maybe just generalizing cancer.
yeah,
Period. I'm
yeah,
sure there is the stuff out there,
yeah.
and I
Well, they
hear.
are. I mean,
Yeah.
they listen. They actually they do because you
Mm-hmm.
see promos on TV and sporting events where they say we're going to kick cancer's butt,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and things like that, which is a good a campaign, because it just like covers everything. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think they have it covered.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So you can. I'll tell you briefly about my radio shows. You can find me on WMPG Radio most uh, every other Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. to 10. I do have a job I tend to work, so I'm not always on the radio, and someone will cover for me. Um, you can catch me most Mondays on radio airwaves, 8 p.m. to 10, all in the Eastern times. My social media links right there if you want to follow me.
yeah,
And here I am back again. It's
yeah,
fall and there are leaves outside, and I have to go clean them up.
yeah. Well,
This is a non-stop issue up here because we have a lot of not just regular trees, but Norwegian maples, which
uh-huh,
are not native to New England. They
uh-huh,
somehow came across when a couple hundred years ago, and they
yeah.
sort of planted themselves here.
While you
So
go out and do your chores and get it done before Saturday comes in, because I know you don't want to do anything on Saturday. I hate
this
doing things.
this is a nonstop issue for me because I got
Oh,
I got 3 properties, and it ends when the last leaf falls or the first snow falls, whatever comes first.
I would like to come out and help you, Pete, but I have my own problems.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, I'll catch you back here next week.
All right, take care. Shout out to Brian. Hope he's doing well, and everybody out there in the world. And hopefully, I'm not going to guarantee next week because we got a strange show coming in on Saturday at 4 a.m.
Okay,
We have to put together. So
yeah,
I may just send you the links for next week just in case
okay,
um, things get a little weird.
okay,
So,
good enough.
but everything's going good here. Glad everybody's out there having a good day. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Take care of yourself. That was Pete, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Pete, of course, here every week as part of the 2020 feature just wrapped up. And glad to see him back. And all of you, ladies and gentlemen, watching this show, it's called The Coffee Hour, and we're here with you till the top of the hour. I have birthdays today. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday. Kim Kardashian is celebrating a birthday today. She's 42 years old. Actress, the late Carrie Fisher, would have been 65. Her mother was Debbie Reynolds, and the ironic thing is that Debbie Reynolds died the day after her daughter, Carrie Fisher, died. But Carrie would have been 65 years old today. Singer, actress, writer, and of course, the daughter of Ronald Reagan and Nancy Davis. Patty Davis is 70 years old today. Doo-wop singer Kathy Young is 77. The late dancer and actress Paula Kelly would have been 80 years old. Manfred Mann, Michael Lubowitz would have been 82. Oh, well, he is 80. He's still alive. So he's 82 today. From the Honeymooners, Trixie Joyce Randolph of the Honeymooners is 98 today. And finally, Latin performer Celia Cruz. She would have been 97 years old today. Celia Cruz, I love Celia Cruz. She was a very nice person, I really enjoyed her. enjoyed talking to her. She had a smile that just lit up the room. Okay, it's now coming up to 5 minutes to the hour, ladies and gentlemen, and I've got some, I want to tell you about how you can get in touch with me right quick. Those of you who are watching, you don't chime in with us on the air, and if you want to get in touch with me personally, it's very simple. All you have to do is call me or email me. I'll give you the email address first. It's frankallanprod@aol.com. Allan's last name is spelled A-L-L-A-N. That's Frank Allan Prod, P-R-O-D stands for production, short. frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. If you'd like to just say hi, that's okay too. Or you have any suggestions, you want to know any more about the shows that we do here, we'll answer any questions that we can. And if you want to give us some feedback, positive or negative, we're all open to it. We're big boys and girls here, and we have thick skin, and we can take it. So get in touch with us right away. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys who are ready to catch up on those movies, those great movies, those classic movies that we talk about each week coming from Turner Classic Movies. Each week I have a pick for you, or a few picks to add to your bucket list of things to watch for the weekend. And I'm going to do that right now. Let's start with this one. Go back to 1940. A film called The Philadelphia Story, starring Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, and James Stewart. That comes on tonight. Friday night, Turner Classic Movie, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. And I think you're going to like it. That was the original. If you remember High Society with Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby and Louis Armstrong, well, that was the remake. They just call it High Society, but that was the remake of The Philadelphia Story. So that's coming on tonight, Philadelphia Story. After that, let's see what we have. Oh, we have Ben-Hur from 1959. This is a long movie starring Charlton Heston, and that's coming on Saturday at 1:15 p.m. Eastern. I think you're going to like it. It's a long movie, as I said. It's a biblical movie, like biblical movies. It's almost like the Ten Commandments, almost, but not quite. So that's coming on tomorrow at 1:15 p.m. Eastern. We also have The Dirty Dozen starring Lee Marvin, and Jim Brown is in it as well, and I think Charles Bronson. That's The Dirty Dozen from 1967. You can catch that tomorrow, Saturday as well at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. And finally, we have Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf from 1966, starring Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, and that's on Sunday. And you'll be well away from church at that particular time because it's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. That's Sunday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. Now, you can go to Turner Classic Movies station and scroll down and check out others because these are only my picks of the week. And you can check out there may be others that you like. And if you can't watch these in real time, you could also DVR it. That's a good thing. You can DVR them and watch them at your own time. Also, if you like to watch on-demand movies free, well, you have a lot of them from A to Z. You can go down the list and pick out something that you like, although you cannot DVR these movies because they're already online and they're already secured for you not to DVR, but you can watch them. They're up there for a period of time. And if you like to watch all of the latest movies, you can go on demand as well and watch pay-per-view. And what do they cost? About $6 or $7. Some of the latest movies out there you could watch, they're all right there. And of course, you desire to watch some of the networks, if you like Lifetime movies, see what's available there. And if you like sports, whatever you miss, like I like wrestling, I miss a match, depending on what network is on, I can go back to that network on demand and watch it in full, sometimes without commercials. So check it out. So let me do this quickly one more time. The movies, Philadelphia Story, that's tonight. Turner Classic Movies at 11:30 p.m. Ben-Hur on Saturday, tomorrow, 1:15 p.m. Eastern. The Dirty Dozen, Lee Marvin, that's tomorrow at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. And Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed being here with you as always. And don't forget, I will be here Thursday night 8 p.m. from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern on Talk Back Live. Brian Kemp with sports will be with me, and of course you, and we'll do it all over again. Other than that, I'll be back here next week, next Saturday or next Friday morning at 10 a.m. for more of the coffee hour with sports with Brian Kemp and DJ Pete with entertainment news. You guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.